Can you become a notary public with no experience? Here's what you need to know. I'm going to break down to you guys. Do you even need to have experience before becoming a notary? Is that a thing? Is it a thing? Well, the answer is no. You don't need to have experience with being a notary before becoming a notary public. That literally wouldn't make any sense. So what you do need to do, though, is get your commission and follow your state guideline, rules, and regulations on how to become a notary public. Because chances are you might have to take a test in your state. If you want, you can click on the bundle down below. I have a breakdown of what you need for every single state in that in the ebook, or you can just go to Amazon and get the ebook there as well. But anyways, you guys don't need to have experience before doing it, because obviously this will be your first time becoming a notary unless you've done it in the past. When a lot of people get into the industry, after they get the commission, what really tends to happen is they don't know what to do. Sometimes a lot of people will become a notary or get commissioned because their job wants them to, or maybe they heard something on TikTok which just made them, you know what, become a notary. But after that, like, what do you actually do? How do you gain experience? How do you find your first client? All of these are questions that you actually need to know, and I'm going to try to break those down to you. So the biggest thing I always say is it's always going to be education, y'all. It's always going to be education. And like I've said, I've made millions from the notary business, and still to this day, I still buy tools and resources and courses on how to become a notary and more notary information that other notaries are doing. So if I'm doing it at the level that I am, and I've been doing this for years, and I'm still learning new resources, you as somebody that's just coming into the industry needs to be doing that as well. You more than anybody else, to be honest, because what I've explained to other people in the past is the longer you stay within one business, the deeper the rabbit hole goes. You start to realize, like, whoa, after you get to like year 3, year 4, you're like, oh, there's a lot more than in this business that I could do that I didn't even know about. Rather than someone that just comes into the business, they don't really know anything. And how you really get paid is for the information that you know that other people may not know, because you've been in the industry longer. So you've developed more tactics and ways how to get customers and clients, and you've learned that type of stuff. So you need to always be continuously studying to actually gain your experience. So I would recommend taking a course, going on YouTube, binge watch other creators' content, binge watch my content, do a couple of one-on-ones, read some ebooks. The name of the game is to intake as much information in the notary business as possible. So you want to learn, then you want to test, you want to fail, you want to succeed, and then you just want to just doing that cycle of just learning, testing, executing, learn, test, execute. But there's phases for it. In every business that you go in, whether the notary, whether the vending machine, whether the website, whether the real estate, these are businesses that I had before in the past, you need to be learning consistently throughout each and every one of these businesses. There's going to be seasons where it's like, okay, cool. For the next 2 weeks, all I'm going to do is buy courses. Or for this month, all I'm doing is focus on buying these courses, studying them one by one. And then after that, I'm going to test. I'm going to take a month off, and just test out all the stuff that I've learned. And what happens is the more courses you take, the more you understand different ideas on how to gain clients, how to gain more experience, how to become better at what you do. But it's very important to remember, with all the studying that you're doing, that you set time to execute. So let's say, for example, it was August 1st, and you just got into the notary business. You just got your commission. You're fresh. You're green. You don't know what's going on. You're just like a baby there, just don't know what's going on. You're just brand new to the industry, head bobbling and everything. If that's you, take that time and study first. And when I say study, I don't mean like going on TikTok and only watching short form content, because that's cool, but it's like that's just tidbits of information. You need to set your behind down, buy a course, or watch some long form content that's going to break down each and everything that you need to do. That's where you get the most amount of gain. And that's the higher quality of information, because when you're watching short form content, you're only getting tidbits. There's only so much you can say in like 15 seconds, 60 seconds, 30 seconds. Coming from me, take it from me, a content creator that puts information out there. There's only so much you can get. So for example, if you've watched this video this far, what these things that I'm telling you, the people that's only watching the TikTok content, they're not getting that information because they don't have the wherewithal to sit through an entire video and get that information that nobody else is going to get. So someone like you that sat down and learned this information, you're now taking that and you have strategies that the people on TikTok, the people on Shorts, the people on Reels didn't even have the opportunity to get. And that's the benefit of studying things, period, and studying it for a long period of time, or a period of time that you actually can dive deep into it. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, take a set time, 2 weeks to a month, and just study. Buy actual information. Don't take it from me. The free information out here is great. Consume that for a good amount of time. But when you buy information, you're getting it packaged with a nice little bow on it, and it's just in order. You pay for what you get. So the free information is kind of like this. You have something over here, you have something over here, you have something over there, and you kind of got to piece it together. It's free. You know, man, even me, I give a free beginner bundle. Go ahead and download it. It'll help you out. But the more paid content is like, okay, it's more structured, and it's like, okay, do this, do this, do this. This is the tool that you need. Use this. This tool is going to help you do this. This tool is going to help you do this. Now the paid bundle that I have, for example, in there, you see there's an email list. There's an email template that you can use and send out to notaries. There's a phone script that you can use. There's a list of 300 signing services. All those things you get in the paid bundle, but in the free one, it's not the same type of information. And it's the same thing with courses out there. I don't sell any courses, but if I did, I know that the course is going to be a lot more structured. Because if you think about it from a different perspective, the people that are creating these courses and creating these tools, they want to make sure that they're giving you the best bang for your buck. They want to give you the best bang for your buck so that you'll trust them, so that you'll stay within their sphere. Me included. It doesn't matter. You want to put good information out there for people because all of this stuff is associated with your name. So that's why I say just go straight to buying the courses, because what happens is, and a lot of people think like, okay, cool. Oh, I don't want to buy a course because it's going to be a scam. Oh my gosh. Give me a break. Who cares? Who cares if you buy a course and it's a scam? I'm not saying spend 5 bands, 10 bands on a course, but if you're spending $100 on a course and it ends up being a scam, or that person that you got it from is just trash and they don't have good information at all, cool. Now you know not to do business with that person. But I guarantee you're going to find at least one thing in there where you're just like, oh, that was actually pretty good information. Everything else is trash, but that information that I got from that person is good. And once you start doing that and you get more and more information, now you have a conglomerate of information that you can now use to help you gain more experience in your notary business. Like how I tied all of that together. But that's the things that you need to do. You need to be studying and diving into this information. After that, you want to test. If there's multiple tactics that you're learning from multiple different creators, you need to list these things out and try them one by one. Try them one by one and take track of, okay, I did this tactic and this works. I'm going to put a 1 right there. I tried this tactic and this worked. I'm going to put another 1 or a strike. And then you start to see, all right, which tactics are more successful for me? And whichever tends to be more successful for you, stop doing everything else. Double down on just that tactic as of right now. Just double down on that tactic until you can consistently get results from that one tactic. Once you're consistently getting results from that tactic and you're making a decent amount of money, then you go back and you start testing out the other tactics. But you want to get one thing that tends to work for you naturally, run with that. Run with it, because that's going to allow you to gain your experience and run into new problems to where you can have new hurdles to jump over, and now you'll learn even more strategies because now you're smarter. So take the time, learn the different tactics, and double down and test them all. But like I said, there's going to be a time for testing. There's going to be a time for learning. There's going to be a time for testing. There's going to be a time for executing. And all of these different paths or sections or segments in life, all of this adds in to you becoming a great notary and getting your first 5 to 10K a month. These are the things that happen. It doesn't sound fun. It doesn't sound flashy, but neither is the notary business. It's a boring business, but does it make money? Yep. Can it help provide for you and your family? 100%. It's done it for me and my brother and my family and the people that I work with. And I know this for a fact. I know this for an 100% fact because I'm doing it. And I'm trying to give you guys the game. Take it if you want. If not, it beats me. Buy these courses though, y'all. Easiest way, like I said, if you don't have the money, buy something a little bit cheaper or affordable. Something that's probably $100 or less or $50 or less, and start there. Learn what you can, and whatever you can afford, learn from there, implement that, and see if that little thing gets you some money. See if that thing brings you in some income. But you need to start testing it. And anytime you hear like, oh, I don't like courses because it's a scam, just in your head, just be like, shut up. Don't listen to that. That's BS. That's BS. Don't worry about, oh, is this course a scam? Who cares? At least now, if you get it and it's a scam, you know who not to listen to anymore. Just cross them off your list. Like, okay, cool. I can't listen to this content creator because he's just full of shit. You know what I'm saying? Cool. When I buy stuff and it's BS, I'm just like, oh, cool. Unsubscribe, unfollow. I'm not following you anymore because you sell bad shit. I don't know how to put it any cleaner for you guys. But anyways, hopefully, like to circle back to the question, can you become a notary public with no experience? Yes, you can. You can become it with no experience. You just need to follow the rules and regulations of your state. And I've also explained out to you guys how to get experience now, because that's the most important part. Learn, test, execute. I don't know why I echoed each one of those, but yes, guys, that's exactly what you need to do. Anyways, if you want to do a one-on-one, go ahead and book me down below. There's a free bundle that you can get, and there's a paid bundle. You can get that too. It has even more tools in there, like I said earlier. Whatever you guys need, let me know. You can book a call down there, and yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Peace, love, and your boy Knowledge is out.